Hello everybody, it's Maria Furtek and today is Halloween, the 31st of October. So happy Halloween. Now Halloween's a time, isn't it, when we actually have a bit of fun with the whole concept of fear and scariness. You know, people dress up, they go trick-or-treating. It's a fun time, but it is all based on the concept of fear and scariness, as I said. But what about if you're somebody who has fears or anxieties that you feel are really holding you back in life and stopping you from doing the stuff that you really feel in your heart that you would like to be able to do? Now, here's the thing. No matter how successful we are in life, you know, or how successful we appear or what we do in life, as human beings, we all from time to time do have fears that potentially can hold us back. And I'm no exception to that. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. So if you have fears that are holding you back, the quality of your life really does depend on whether you feel able to face those fears or not. And it's not always something that's easy or comfortable to do. Now, even if you're not actually quite ready to face those fears fully yet, what I'd like to do today is to actually ask you two really powerful questions that will enable you to start that journey, taking those first few tentative steps towards facing your fears and being able to move forward. So you may like to pause this video and grab some pen and some paper or a notebook if you'd like to answer these questions for yourself. And the first powerful question is, what would you do if you weren't afraid? So if you weren't feeling this fear and having this fear, what would you change or what would you intend to do in your life? What would you love to be doing if the fear wasn't stopping you? So if you want to take a few moments to write down your answers and think about that, please do. And then the second powerful question is, what is the exact fear that is holding you back and stopping you? And again, if that exact fear wasn't holding you back and stopping you, what would you be doing in your life, or what would you be changing or working towards or moving towards? Again, you may like to write down your answers to that question. And remember, there are no right or wrong answers to these questions. They're very individual to each of us. But by doing this exercise and answering these two powerful questions, what you're actually doing is gaining a deeper insight and understanding into exactly what it is that you're feeling afraid about. And that is the first step towards changing it. Actually understanding and knowing what it is and how you are frightening yourself. Now, if you'd like to, please feel free to share the answers to those questions in the comments below. You don't have to, obviously, but if you'd like me to comment, I'm more than happy to do so. And working with clients and people with fears is what I specialise in my own business as an integrated NLP hypnotherapist. I specialise in working with people that know they've got fears and anxieties and recognise that they are holding themselves back in life because of these fears and anxieties. And what I do is I teach them some very powerful and very effective psychological tools that will help them to take back control of their fear and to be able to self-manage and self-lead and move through the fear. And certainly, as I mentioned earlier, I'm no exception to that. As a human being, of course, I've had fears in my life that have potentially held me back, certainly when I was younger. And this was one of the major motivations to me actually studying Neuro-Linguistic Program, NLP, in 1999 when I started my NLP journey. I had huge fears that had held me back in my life. And in spite of having lots of counselling and trying various different therapies to try and deal with and get rid of these fears, I still felt a big element of fear, and I knew it was holding me back in my life in many different areas. Within the first year of studying NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, I found the tools to start the process of self-leading and self-managing myself through those fears, and gained a much greater understanding about myself, where those fears came from and how I was frightening myself. And that was very powerful and made a big difference in my life. So if you're interested at some point in finding out a bit more about how you can deal with any fears that are holding you back by working with me, then hop over to my website, which is www.mariafurtickhypnotherapy.com, where you'll find more information about me and my journey, and also more information about how I work with you with your fears and support you and teach you tools to overcome and manage those fears differently so that you can self-lead through your fear and move forward in life. So I hope you found those 2 questions helpful today, and all that remains is for me to wish you a spectacular Halloween.